Please limit. Oh, thank you. I'm pleased limit your speaking time to allow others to share their thoughts. All right, so welcome back. We'll move into our community updates. Then we have Speak for the Trees updates. As always, we'll include the buff survey so you can fill that out. And I'm happy to say that every meeting, someone's been filling out the survey to make a suggestion or, have a comment. So that's really cool, even those of you who have already filled out the survey. But thank you for continuing to do so and helping to guide the direction of Boston Urban Forest Friends. All right, so we'll move into community updates. I'll stop sharing my screen. And whoever would like to go first, please raise your hand. If you don't know where to find the button, just speak. It's fine. Sarah, there you are. I was waiting for you to go first. Good morning, Sarah.
Good morning. Not that I'm in a rush to be first, but I do have a mini update on the White Stadium tree meeting that was held last night. I don't know if others who are here today were there, but for me, it was the first tree meeting since the ordinance passed almost exactly a year ago, right at the last city council meeting of 23. I don't know if there have been others. Life gets full, but to me it was kind of gratifying that they did it, but troubling in terms of what is the role, if any, for the public. They had dutifully posted. I walked around and took pictures yesterday during the day, posted the trees, and had graphs of we're saving 120, but then a whole lot of trees were, what was it called, structural conflict, like they're in the way. And if the building expands, the trees have to go. Some were poor conditions, some were growing too close to a wall or had a fence through it. I know a lot of people debated before the meeting that that tree can live a long time like that having a fence piece in it doesn't automatically kill it. So it was kind of difficult to really know what it all meant. And one really articulate friend who was saying, well, we can't tell. There's this survey document, and then there are these numbers of what's happening. But what she wanted to know, and others probably too, how big are these trees? Are you taking down a 4-inch tree or a 40-inch tree? And so it leaves a little to be desired in terms of, unless someone is a real student of trees and has time and energy to go correlate and measure. It was hard to know, but even more to the point, the other kind of meeting I have experience with is Chapter 87. Park Commission holds a meeting if someone wants to build a driveway or anything where there's a tree that is a public shade tree. And it's a lot more clear at those meetings, like they take a vote or they, it was a little, I left the meeting last night saying, so is there a comment period? Are we done? Are they just going to say, here's what we're doing, boom? Uh, so that's my probably too long summary of the tree meeting.
No, Sarah, it's not too long at all. I was there. I saw you.
Oh, good.
Yeah, and there were so many other people who wanted to follow up behind you to ask questions, or so I don't even know. Did they say that they're going to have another meeting or a time to make more comments? I mean, being there and listening to some of the people say what they said about the trees through the fences and things like that, that I'm not sure if that's good for the tree. I think the arborist, the professional who was there, made that very clear that, having a tree go through a fence is not good for the tree, even though the tree's, somewhat surviving. That could lead to, all the scientific things that they mentioned. I don't know if anyone else was at the meeting last night, but it was attended by a lot of people, and there were
Mm.
a lot of folks who, are against the expansion of the part of the White Stadium. There are people who may not have been there that are not, who are not really bothered by this, attempt to uh, add the space for the Boston Public School students. And I think I don't know what to think about that, Sarah, but it was just really an intense.
Yeah. One other thing I forgot to mention, I don't operate under the delusion that the ordinance will stop any tree from being cut down. But the question of the right replacement, knowledge keeps evolving. And Bob Leverett, who's kind of a old growth tree expert, has a slide showing that if you're taking down an 80-foot oak tree in terms of carbon sequestration, for the kind of new replacement tree planting, it would take, I think, 456 new trees to replace one in terms of those benefits. And so when the city says we're taking down 145 or something, but we're planting 500. And so this one person said, well, that'll replace 1.25 trees. It's like, what is the right way to balance things? And probably way too much for an update, but these are important questions. And this project in particular is removing a whole lot of trees. So that replacement becomes a big, big question. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sarah. Appreciate you. All right, Jack, good morning.
Morning, everyone. Happy Friday. I was also going to talk a bit about that meeting last night about the White Stadium potential tree removals, but I think Sarah, you covered it quite well. Um, and I know I'm preaching to the choir here, but when we are trying to work to preserve our trees, we know the disproportionate benefits that these old trees provide to our city and the ecosystem services that are really coming out of the mature canopy. And then we know that there are parts of our city that have seen underinvestment and have seen racist policies and less planting and now have worse asthma rates and environmental injustices abounding. And um, yeah, it's upsetting to see potentially 145 trees removed in a community that has suffered from some of these lacking investments. And um, these are a lot of trees that, the Emerald Necklace Conservancy and other organizations have pruned in the past handful of years and have done other work to try to maintain and preserve. So hopefully we'll be able to, yeah, preserve a few more of those out of this project and then have the best other tree protections and everything if the project does unfold. Um, but yeah, happy to talk with folks offline about that. I do think the meeting was recorded. I don't know where that recording might be posted by the city. Um, so I can try to follow up with that info though. But I also want to give a few other updates on work that we're doing with the Conservancy in some other parts of the necklace as well, because as many of you know, we try to, excuse me, inventory all of the trees in and then prune the trees in one of our parks each year. Last year, we pruned over 750 trees in Olmsted Park. This year we're working in the Back Bay Fens. Next year the plan was to work in Franklin Park, kind of right around the Playstead area and around around White Stadium. We will see. Hopefully that will still be the plan. But I just want to let everyone know that we've wrapped up our health check and inventory for over 2,400 trees in the Back Bay Fens. So we have a bunch of brand new data on all of those trees. I don't get excited by many things more so than I do by like some fresh arborist reports. Um, so I had some good site walks with Max from Boston and Jeff from DCR to look at a bunch of those trees and finish up that project. And then we're trying to turn that into a pruning project as soon as the new year begins. So we think we'll be pruning probably around 900 trees or up to 900, split between Boston and DCR property. And we're doing a bunch of crown cleaning to remove just like big dead branches that could pose a safety risk, but also some clearing to raise branches over roads and pathways, and then some other thinning and structural pruning to encourage tree growth and keep them as healthy as possible. So that's a pretty big project. And then we're working on getting all of our approvals and pathways set so that we can plant a bunch of trees in the spring, because we got some CPA funding and we also got a solid earmark directed to DCR, but the Conservancy is going to be doing the planting through the state. So yeah, we're going to be hopefully planting upwards of 100 trees in the spring if things all come together. And have had some fun site walks, actually one this morning to talk about species and location. So always happy for folks to reach out, and I'll stop rambling there. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks a lot, Jack. That was a wonderful, wonderful update. If you want to share your email, put it in the chat so people can stay in touch with you. You're doing excellent work. You really are, and I really appreciate all your updates and the work that you do. So keep on doing that work. And 2,400 trees, you said? That's a lot.
Inventory, yeah.
Yeah, inventory, yeah. That's really good. Good work.
Yeah. Thanks, Charles. I appreciate you.
Always. Anybody else? I don't see anyone's hands raised. Todd? Good morning, Todd. How you doing?
Good morning, everyone. I'm doing well, thank you. I haven't been able to make it to the last couple meetings, but always good to see everyone here and hear the conversation. I was not able to attend the White Stadium meeting last night, but I'm sure lots of people did. And again, ultimately, that is a project that is run by the planning department. You know, that is their development project. So they're following the ordinance, you know, as best as they can, and they're looking for, you know, options to mitigate that what they know will change in the canopy. Again, I know there's lots of comments either way on all of this, but I just want to say that there is some attempt to utilize the ordinance to leverage resources that honestly 2 years ago we might not have had any desire to even have that conversation. So I think at the very least, you know, the ordinance has been helpful in that respect of leveraging some resources to at least hopefully do something to mitigate any loss there. But other than that, on a different note, just I think a more positive note, we have finally finished our fall street tree planting season. We planted 600 trees, new street trees. And again, the fall is always a little bit of a smaller season for us just because of what's available at the nursery. And as you go later in the year, the weather is always questionable. Whereas in the spring, you know, you can keep going into the summer. It'll be hot, but if you're watering, you can still be out there and actually dig in the ground. So we had a new vendor that we worked with this year, and we had some growing pains along the way. But again, we've accomplished everything that was on our list. So we are happy with that. And again, anybody out there, if they're looking for street trees in their neighborhood, you know, have their neighbors contact us and let us know. Make a request in 311 and we'll go from there. So thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Todd. As always, your work is appreciated, and your support, Speak for the Trees, and us working together is always appreciated. So thank you very much again, Todd. Tyler, you're up next. Good morning, sir.
Hi. I just want to check in. I'll give a really quick update because it's fairly individual. But I'm just to let folks know I left my conservation administrator role in North Attleboro to be closer to Boston. So I'm available to do a bit more volunteering and talk about possible work partnerships. here in the city or adjacent to Boston. I had an informational interview with the Office of Green Infrastructure out of the mayor's office last week, which was insightful. I'm excited to go to Mexico for a few weeks traveling and meeting with a person called Melly Harvey, who's doing urban forestry in Mexico City. Excited to, I don't know if there's really much that we can connect between the places, but Melly's been doing some really cool work with mapping, and I'm actually posting a link to her blog in the chat. I can do that after my update. So yeah, if anybody wants to get coffee or lunch and chat about things going on in the city, I'd love to hear, just meet you in person as well. So that's it.
Thanks, Tyler. That's really good. Good to hear. Have safe travels. on your-
Thanks.
It was actually good to meet you in person as well at the last tree planting that we had at Ronan Park a couple of weeks ago. And you were out there digging and working and playing music. You just hop right in, man. We appreciate your hard work. So thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And Tyler, if I'll send you a link. Last year we had a Mexican artist come. She does work on mycelial networks and trees. She is an art educator. She got her PhD, I think, from Penn State, and is doing a lot of tree engagement. I don't know if it's in Mexico City or outside the city, but their name is Shali.
Mhm.
They're really warm. I'll put you in touch. Hopefully they're there, and I'm sure we'd be happy to connect with you.
Cool. And I posted a link to Melly's blog. The most recent post is about their urban forestry work in Mexico City, if people want to read that.
Thank
Awesome.
you.
Thank you, Tyler. We'll definitely check it out. And Shali is really cool. She's really warm, like David said. That was the perfect word to describe Shali. Warm. Awesome. All right, up next. Good morning, Susan.
Good morning, everyone. I'm just heartbroken that I was just able to join, and apparently I missed a lot of amazing updates.
Yes,
So
it's recording. I'll share the recording with you.
okay, that would be great. I'd love that. So 3 things that I wanted to mention. I'm Susan Stamps. I'm on the tree committee in Arlington. Tree committee is the town board. And we have been busy advocating for trees for several years now. We have a tree bylaw, which we've updated several times. And we did a tree management plan back in 2017, and we had found that we had lost 2,000 trees since 1980. And so we came up with a plan for how we're going to rebuild our tree canopy. And we thought we were doing fine, but because of a brand new source of tree canopy information provided by the federal government, which I'll talk about in a second if you guys haven't already talked about this. We unfortunately discovered in the last week that we've actually lost tree canopy in that time since we did our tree management plan, and we had increased our tree planting. And I think a lot of it is due to loss of trees on private property. And there's a bunch of reasons, and it's very upsetting, but yet onward, right? Fortunately, we consulted with a group, Planet Geo, out in Colorado. Some of you may be familiar with Planet Geo. They do urban forest master plans, and they just do general consulting with tree canopy. And they alerted us that there is now a new tree canopy assessment, new data available through the USDA, Arbor Day Foundation, and Planet Geo. It's a project. Did you talk about this, Jarrell?
No, we didn't.
No, we haven't.
ahead.
Yeah, and I just a quick insight. Yeah, thank you, Susan, and I'll turn it over to you in a minute. I know they had a webinar earlier this week that I missed. I don't know if anyone here attended it. And they have another one next week. And I'm happy to talk about what I know about it. John, I don't know if you or Todd, if anyone here attended that, but it is a real exciting new tool as far as I understand, and I can talk at that a little more in depth if you want, Susan. I don't know what you know though.
Well, so we actually had a call with them last week saying, help, we need to do something here, going in the wrong direction. And he told us, this was with Russell Clark, who's their sort of outreach guy at Planet Geo. And he told us about this new product, which is now free. When we had last talked to them a couple of years ago, we were looking at if they gave us tree canopy data, one-shot deal, it was going to cost $5,000. And if it was going to be on a subscription basis, like every year, that was something that was in the tens of thousands of dollars. Anyway, so what I know, David, what he told us, and we looked at it, and I've looked at it since, it's really cool. The website is treesatwork.org, treesatwork.org, and then click on assessment. And it's a little clunky, like any kind of geospatial data, which I know nothing about, not my area. I'm not a scientist or a technical person, but anyway, this data is now free, so you can all go look at it and you can see what your tree canopy looks like. And yeah, I mean, really, that's all it is. It's the U.S. Forest Service, Arbor Day Foundation, Planet Geo. They pulled it together, and that's what I know. Do you have more to add, David?
Yeah, so
David, I'm sorry.
it's okay, Susan. Thank you. Yeah, I haven't explored this tool yet. So I was at the and Lily, our tree care associate, joined me at the annual Partners in Urban Forestry Conference that's held in mid-November every year, and this year it was in Chicago. I don't know, Jack, or if anyone else here was at that meeting. I didn't see you, but there were a couple of folks from Boston. From PowerCore, there were 2 folks. Anywho, they did introduce this tool. They hadn't yet released it, so I couldn't play with it at the, I couldn't explore it at the conference, but I did have a chance to hear a talk about it and then connect with their executive director, like brain guru guy about it, Ian.
Okay.
And as far as I understand it, I'm going to try to explain this as best I can in non-technical terms, is
Yeah.
there's 2 ways to measure tree canopy coverage. Right, there's a satellite image where you can then like count how much green there is. The problem with that is you can't really tell apart like a green roof from a green tree from a green swimming pool, because you need to know the height, right? So
Yeah.
the way to get the really precise measurements is do what's called a LiDAR assessment, which
Yeah.
is a laser that flies over a city and measures the height of everything. And then you combine those 2 data sets and you get a really beautiful data set that actually tells you how big the crown is and all the spread of the trees. Doing a LiDAR is very expensive and very time consuming, and you need to do it constantly to keep the data fresh, whereas satellite imagery is cheap and they're always taking pictures. So what Planet Geo has done, as I understand, is they've developed an AI tool that takes data, those 2 data sets, and teaches itself how to map a urban forest canopy just by looking at the satellite imagery. And they have something like 97% like success rate. So you don't need, so what they're trying to do is remove the LiDAR from the mapping so you can get a tool for much cheaper that can go to places that might not be able to even afford a LiDAR.
Yeah.
So I think it's like an immense, again, it's not going to be 100%. It's not going to be as accurate as a LiDAR because it's machine learning and it's AI, but they're getting to the point where they feel really, really confident in the accuracy of their data.
Wow.
I might be dumbing it down a lot,
Well,
but those are,
yes. Please.
And the tool is free and it's
Yeah.
going to be updated, LiDAR. I think the last time, and Todd, you can correct me. I think the last time a LiDAR was done was like in Boston was 2018 or 2017 or 20, like it was almost 5 years ago now.
Yeah, just to jump in for a moment. Yes, 2019 was the last time we paid for and collected LiDAR data for tree canopy coverage. We also actually, and our goal is every 5 years to obtain the LiDAR data and then do an analysis, which we did in 2019 to compare with 2014. And so we did collect LiDAR data this summer with leaf-on conditions, and the analysis is going on. University of Vermont will be starting it in January. So by next spring, we will have another 5 years to look at. So starting in 2014 to 2024, we'll be able to look in a very, very detailed way at the canopy change in the city of Boston. And yes, it is very expensive.
Yeah, I just talked to Cambridge about that just last week, and they do the same thing. They use a lab to collect the data, a lab in Western Mass. You guys may have done the same thing. I forget the name of the company, and then they send it up to UVM Geospatial Lab to put the report together. And it's, many tens of thousands of dollars was my impression to get all that work done in places like Arlington. I mean, we may look like we're wealthy, but we have a very lean budget. There's no way that we could, it would be hard to get that kind of money out of the town to do that. So the fact that this free data set dropped out of the sky this week or last week or whenever it was, I don't know when you found out about it, David, just maybe it was a few weeks ago, but David, sorry. Anyway, it's very exciting, and I just wanted to mention a couple of other things. No, actually just one other thing, which was that's related, which is that Arlington is just starting a new master planning process. And we've just hired Stantec to do it. And I've looked at the work that Stantec has done for Lexington, and I'm going to look at Watertown also, but it looks like they're going to be good on tree canopy issues. And we realize the tree committee does that this is an amazing opportunity for us, like at this period in time when we know that we've got this need. And we really are, the tree committee is really the only group in town anywhere here in Arlington that can really push on advocacy for trees and open space in the master plan, because we don't have an urban forestry person in the planning department like some bigger places do. And our DPW and tree warden who run the tree planting and everything, they just do the day-to-day work. They don't do any planning. So it's really up to us, and we're really very excited at the opportunity. So that was my report.
Thank you so much, Susan. Really appreciate that. David, you got something to say?
Yeah, sorry, I can't find the raise hand button. I'm raising my real hand. Todd, I have a quick question for you, and then there are two questions actually. Have you heard about this new tool? Have you looked at it yet?
I have not. I'm looking at it right now, and it looks pretty interesting, quite frankly.
Yeah. Second question is, I know, and some of you may know this and some of you may not, the person who ran the LiDAR assessment data, his name was Darlith O'Neill, and he passed away a year or two ago. I think just had a sudden heart attack. Young guy, I think in his 40s, maybe early 50s. Todd, do you know who's now running that LiDAR assessment group up there? It's not Darlith.
Yes, he did pass away unexpectedly, but Paige Brochet,
Okay.
something with a B, or Brochette.
Oh, I think I've heard her name. Okay.
I think she obviously worked at the lab before. She had some role at the lab, but she is now currently the director of the lab. And
Okay.
they are carrying on. They're still doing the same work that they've been doing before.
Yeah.
So the lab, he was sort of like the core of getting all that off the ground, but the lab is still very much engaged in the same work that they've always done.
Yeah. was a big loss. He was actually remembered. There was a little moment of silence for him at the conference. I'm just gonna quickly, if you don't mind, Jarrell, just quickly share the and I think there's a lot here, and I'm not going to spend much time on it, but here's the tree canopy plotter. I don't know how it works. You can do, this is the current canopy. Can people see the screen? So you can get down to this sort of like canopy level, and this is where the AI comes in. And then you could also do historical canopy. I don't know what it means to have historical canopy. Are they looking 5 years ago, 10 years ago? I think it probably differs by municipality or by region whenever the US Forest Service is collecting data. So you can see loss and again, I think this is all AI as far as I understand. But it's a really interesting tool to explore. And I think, Susan, this is now free, like you said, to explore block by block, even parcel by parcel, where loss is happening, which I know is an immense resource. A lot of data in there, of course, but it's pretty amazing.
David, it sounds like what Russell was showing us was 2015 and current, which I think for them, the current is 2023. And I think they only had those two data sets for now, but
Yeah.
they're going to be pulling together other ones.
Actually, I just clicked on a census track and it says historical canopy is from 2018 and current canopy is from 2023, at least for Boston.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay, yeah.
again, it's going to differ, I think, by different municipalities. But if you click, you can actually get numbers on what's been lost. This is amazing. Very, very cool tool. I hadn't yet had a chance to look at it. So thank you for sharing that with us, Susan.
You know, it would be really great if somebody could like hold a training for those of us civilians who know nothing about such things. Because I've been on the site and this kind of thing is very hard for me, but yet I'm very involved in the politics here about trees in town and very strong advocate, and I need to have a really good understanding of it. So, can I stumble through and, maybe figure it out well enough? Yes. But if there's anybody here who might be willing to familiarize themselves and provide a little training to anybody else who's interested, that would be really great. I don't know if anybody wants to pick that up. Todd.
I'm sure someone will, Susan.
I think it's a great suggestion, not for Todd, but for us to reach out to actually the team over there. I'm gonna see. I think, John, did you go to their training last week?
I did. And yeah, you already touched on it. I wanted to just say that you can filter through to see the historic data where it will show you the historic tree canopy coverage, but you can also see what trees have been growing if you layer it correctly. I haven't really messed around with it since the training or since the seminar rather, but yeah, you basically already touched on it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, John, you had your hand up. Is that what you wanted to talk about, or you have more that you would like to share with us?
No, that was it.
Okay. Well, you're up next anyways, if you have an update for us.
Yeah, and sorry,
No,
John, did they say if they were gonna, I assume that they were gonna publish those webinars? I wasn't able to attend,
Are you
unfortunately.
talking about Planet Geo? Did a webinar on it?
Yeah, I can
Yes.
include the email. So I just included the information. It was last week and the week before. I thought it was
Okay.
this week and next week, but we missed it. But I just put the announcement in the chat window. We can reach out and see if there's just a video, and maybe we could have like a get together, watch the video, play with it. I don't know, or we could invite them to come.
Yeah.
John, so yeah, John, do you know if they had recorded it? I mean, I assume so.
I think they recorded it, but don't quote me on that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you, everybody. That was really great. Great community updates. That's really, really awesome. Thank you all. So we're moving on to our Speak for the Trees updates. And John or David, you have anything that you want to update well, I might as well start it since I started sharing my screen. All right, so if anybody, I included a link for our end of the year community celebration that is happening on Monday, December 16th at Long Live Roxbury. And if you give me 1 second, I want to just, yeah, so we're hosting this amazing event at Long Live Roxbury. Please visit the website under our events page to sign up. I've also attached it to everybody here in the meeting reminder so that there's no shortage of ways to find your way to us on Monday. So we would definitely love to see you all there. If you haven't been to Long Live Roxbury, it's a really nice spot. It's a brewery. You don't have to drink. You can just come celebrate with us. We're going to have food. There will be music. And I'm really excited about it.
Music, and though Lily, our tree care associate, had the great idea to bring board games. So
Yeah.
we're gonna have some games there. If you want to bring your own board game, we'll have a game of Jenga going. And then I think our community outreach manager, Mr. Jarrell Ferguson, remarked that there's actually a record player there. So if
Yeah.
you want to bring a couple of records, we'll sort of have a little opportunity to play records. We'll have a playlist going on our Spotify, but just a chance, again, really informal, free entry, just chance to be in community together.
Yeah, I was just going to mention about the records because that's a cool feature that they have, and a really nice sound system too. So if anybody has any records, that'd be really cool. If anyone of you decides to come, and we hope to see all of you there. That's what I would like to, I would like to see that. So also, as part of my community updates, Speak for the Trees is looking forward to hiring a community engagement coordinator by January. They'll be working with me and the Buff Group to strengthen the work that we do in the community. The new hire will be working with me directly, and when they come in, they'll introduce themselves to the Buff Group and to all of our community members. And it's primarily to extend our outreach capabilities in the community, and to make sure that all of our I's are dotted and our T's are crossed, and all community members are engaged with. And I'm really looking forward to bringing this person in to Speak for the Trees. So our team is growing. David, if you want to talk about that, but I'll just say that our small but mighty team is growing, and we're looking forward to just getting better at the things that we do. And I just hope that when the person comes in, that they're welcomed with open arms. They'll probably be transitioning into leading our Buff meetings, but not until we have a nice, robust introduction to them, so you all can get to know them and hopefully like them as much as you all like me. All right, John or David, any Speak for the Trees updates?
I got a bunch, but I'll defer to John first.
Okay, go ahead, John.
We had a pretty successful planting season that we finally wrapped up. We planted 12 trees at Mount Hope and 6 at Ronan. We planted 41 trees on private property. So yeah, getting ready for the winter to just have a plan and ramp it up and hit the ground running in the spring. So yeah, it was overall a great season, I thought.
Yeah, and I just want to just thank John for the immense job he did. He came in April and really has picked up without really skipping a beat. We didn't get as many trees planted in April and May as we would have, but I know next year we're gonna, with John on leading this really great work, we're gonna get more planted next year. And a big shout out also to Todd, who came to both events and not only came and didn't just stand there and observe, but it really helped. Like was digging holes and talking to people and moving around big trees, which I know is part of your day job. So to do it also part of a volunteer event is really, we're really grateful for that. Thank you, Todd.
Yeah, thank you, Todd, and thank you to the rest of your crew. You guys were great.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right. Okay.
I have a couple of announcements, if you don't mind.
Go ahead, David.
Some exciting updates. I just wanted to share, if you don't get our newsletter, Jarrell mentioned that he'll be hiring a community engagement coordinator. We just hired a director of finance, which I know is probably not the most interesting to this group, but it's going to be really, really helpful to us as we ramp up our operations. It's definitely been a pinch point for us is tracking our funding and reporting it back. And then in the process of hiring a director of advancement to help us with our fundraising, especially from donors. We have some nice grants to support us, but we want to expand and make sure that we're engaging more with residents and with donors. And oh, John, that was just a direct message to me. You might want to repost it. And then we have actually 2 new jobs that we haven't yet written the job description for. One is going to be like an 8-month project manager for a collaboration between American Forest, PowerCore Boston, and Speak for the Trees. And we'll be doing some analysis of job opportunities and gaps in the tree care industry, thinking about where tree care companies are, the type of people they hire, and how we can ensure that the people who are coming out of PowerCore or other programs are connecting and being supported by tree care companies. So this will be sort of a first step in a larger, hopefully long-term project around workforce support, not just development, but continued support. And then I'm also really excited to announce, and we haven't yet released this publicly, final grant we got was for let's see if I can remember the title, Urban Tree Equity Fellowship Program. It's going to be a 3-year program. Every year we'll be able to hire a different fellow. We're one of 5 cities, and Todd, I haven't shared this with you yet, but we're one of 5 organizations across the country that receive this fellowship program. So we're going to add someone, and John will be sort of the point person on that, add someone to the team who will not only support his work, but also be able to get credentials and education and some job training and shadowing. Hopefully, they could be a PowerCore grad. So allow us to not only expand our operations, but provide a career opportunity and career experience for someone. So really excited for those. Probably another hire or 2 in the next year, but I think that's enough for the short term. And some more news coming down the pipe. I will say, if you want to put it in your calendar, Arbor Week is going to be the last week of April going into May. So I can't remember, I think it's April 25th all the way to May 2nd is the week we'll be celebrating Arbor Week. And we're going to sort of end that week ish on May 1st with a spring fundraiser event, which will be held over at Southline. May 1st is a Thursday. It'll be in the evening. Really hope to make some more announcements there. We have some other things that I can't quite yet share, but hopefully by then we'll be able to. So just pencil that in your calendar. I don't know, I probably missed something, Jarrell, but oh, I know what I missed. We're going to be taking, after this week, we're going to take about 2 weeks off. So we'll take Christmas and New Year's off. We've been working hard, as you can tell, and we just are looking forward to 2025, but we're going to enter hopefully well-rested and enjoying our free time and our family time together. So if you don't hear from us between Christmas and January 5th, just know that we're doing some self-care.
Thank you so much, David. As a recipient of that self-care, I'm grateful to you. Thank you very, very much. And to everyone here, thank you all very much for being here. Does anyone have anything else that they would like to add? or to say? Any comments, ideas, suggestions, updates? Because I think that's it for us, for all of our updates. Well, if no one has anything else, I just wanted to say that it's really good to see you all. Happy to have been with you this morning. Happy to have gone through another year with you all. And I'm looking forward to 2025. Looking forward to Arbor Week, Arbor Day, Earth Day, Wake Up the Earth, all the earthy things that, we're probably going to be a part of, and hope to see you all there. I do hope to see many of you, if not all of you, at our celebration on Monday. It's going to be a really fun time. Don't forget to bring your records and your appetite. Yeah, I mean, that's really all I have. I just always like to express my gratitudes and to say thank you. And I'm looking forward to seeing you in January. I think we'll have a meeting in January. I just haven't.
Hey, I have one more announcement I forgot about.
Go for it.
And this is, for those of you in the know, this is really big, but for the rest of you, it's probably like a whatever. The Social Innovation Forum every year selects 5 nonprofits to be in their accelerator program. Or sorry, they have 5 tracks. It's often more than 5 nonprofits. Things like housing, youth development. Every year they change their tracks, and I'm really proud that this year we've been selected to be the environmental resilience track. We'll be working with a consultant on our pitch. We'll be doing some really targeted thinking about how we engage with funders. It's mainly a way for us to grow our capacity through fundraising. So you'll be seeing less of me in the next 6 months, but that's good because you don't need to see me. Jarrell is doing an awesome job and he'll be getting more help. But just so you know, I'll be busy doing other things, and it's a really privilege and honor to have been selected. So you'll hear more about that.
Yes, absolutely. Congratulations to us. I can say you, Davi, but congratulations to all the work that we do. Yes. All righty. Well, that being said, I'm looking forward to seeing you all again next year. Thank you all so much. We appreciate you. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of the month. Enjoy the rest of the year. Have a great weekend. You all know how to get in touch with me if you need to reach out to me or any of the staff at Speak for the Trees. Please reach out, and I hope to see you all on Monday. So again, thank you, and we'll see you next year.
Thanks.
Thank you, Jarrell.
Thank you. Bye.
Well,
Bye
bye-bye.
all.